This part in utilizing functions, we are going to introduce the function main, which will be the controlling function that an application will use as its point of entry when a program is running. So remember from the previous lesson, we had three functions here, the addition, subtraction, multiplication, and then we called each one of them in this order. As a matter of fact, we repeated addition twice here. With a multiplication in between. So let's make this a little more interesting with an actual function main to control the flow of how we're going to call or in what order we're going to call these functions. So I'm going to delete this part right here and create another function that we're going to call main. Now, this is typical in a lot of programming languages where you use the main function, as the point of entry for our program, which basically means we want to control our program in terms of where to start. Okay? And here we can actually write down what we want in main, or what we want main to do. Let's do something like this. First, let's have it where it prints welcome to our basic calculator. Okay, so this line by itself defines what mains is supposed to do. If you run it, that's what it will do. Now, right now, if I try to run this program, I'll get nothing. Watch this. There. And the reason is I haven't called any of them, including main. So maybe it's a good idea, just like we did before, to call main right here. Okay, well now let's see what happens when you do that. Okay, so welcome to our basic calculator appears, but none of the other functions have executed at all because we didn't use them. We didn't call them. Now is a good time in main to decide when to use one or the other. We could start with something like this. Print, this is the addition operation. So we're putting a message out, and right after that we're going to call addition. And you can see the IDE is helping me in terms of which function to pick. And then we're going to do this, print. This is the subtraction operation. And we're going to go over here and we're going to call subtraction that we've already pre-designed. And we're going to do multiplication now. So as you can see here in main, I can craft my code to make a little more sense in terms of how I want it to flow. In the future, we're going to do conditional stuff so you can actually pick which operation you want. At this stage, right now, the way I'm writing it, all operations will be executed. Is just a little more helpful here in terms of how it's going to run. So print, this is the multiplication operation. And we're going to call the multiplication. Okay, let's go ahead and test this. So remember, we have a function main. We're calling main right here. So this is the function call for main. This is the function definition. What does it do? Well, it prints a message, then another one that says what it's supposed to be doing next, and then it will call the addition. So we're calling addition from within the function main. So yes, you can call a function from within a function, and typically try to do it within main. That's why it's called the controlling function, and we get to see more and more that becomes a clearer definition as we move forward. Let's go ahead and run this. As you can see, welcome to the basic calculator. This is the addition operation. So it's a little more user-friendly. Enter 7, enter 2, and we get now 9. And here's the next step. This is the subtraction operation. I'm going to enter 9 and minus 9. Now 9 minus 9 is going to be 18, right? So multiplication, I'm going to multiply 1 by 0, and I should get 0. And voila, the program ended there. So most of the programs we're going to be writing here in Python are going to use a function main. And from it, we're going to call any of these functions we predefine or define ahead of time. And we're going to decide when and how to run them. In our next video or lesson, we're going to have these functions actually communicate and talk to main in terms of exchanging data. Right now, as we run these, num1, num2 are only local to addition while it's running. This num1, num2 has no relationship with this num1, num2. It only exists when subtraction is running. What if we wanted to supply the numbers to a function? What if we wanted a function to return the result of what it's supposed to be doing? That is something we're going to be tackling for our next lessons. I will see you then.